This is going to be a video of Sonic Pocket Adventure for the NeoGeo Pocket Color. So this NeoGeo Pocket that I have is actually one that I bought when it was still on sale. It was heavily discounted because I think they become discounted really quickly for some reason. This is my original machine and I chose the aqua blue one. So here we have it. I think I bought this for £30 and I bought 2 games just with my birthday money. I managed to convince a few people at school to buy these as well. But this machine came out the same day as the Dreamcast in this country. So I've had this machine since about 1999, I guess. I should also say that these come with very nice little instruction manuals that are in full colour. They're really nice. So let's turn this on. Even though I've blown up the screen quite a lot there, by about 4 times, it still looks quite nice. You can see there I'm struggling to control the menu. I'm playing this with a wired Xbox 360 controller, and when I plugged it in, you have to use the left analog stick to control the movement, which I didn't like. So you're going to be seeing me roll a lot more than I really wanted to. I knew there was something down there. So this is very much like Emerald Hill Zone from Sonic 2, and you'll see that throughout the video, if you've not seen this game before anyway, that all of the levels in this are pretty much just Sonic 2 levels that have been remixed, because it seems like the level layouts are quite a lot different, and it doesn't use the same music in any of the levels, but it is very familiar. The NeoGeo Pocket is supposed to be a 16-bit machine, because it does technically have a 16-bit processor, I think. But when you look at the games, they really are just like Game Boy Color games. But I think this machine came out just before the Game Boy Advance as well, so I think it quickly become quite dated. And by the way, I'm sure that music in this first level is from Sonic's World, from Sonic Jam. Alright, that's the end of the first level. But you know, this game plays really, really well. It definitely feels like old school Sonic. So it seems to me, for quite a long time, Sega was releasing 2D Sonic games that didn't really feel like the Mega Drive games, because the Mega Drive games did have a very precise way of controlling, so it was very fast, but it also felt quite nice as well. They didn't seem to get that right again for a very long time. Games like Sonic Generations and Sonic 4 and Sonic 4 Part 2 or Episode 2 just didn't feel right. As far back as this game, they actually had it spot on. So here's Robotnik, and I don't know if this is a completely original boss or if they took it from some previous Sonic game. It all looks quite nice though, doesn't it? The music's from Sonic 3, again. You know, I really do like the look of the sprites in this, even though it's got that kind of limited 3 colours per block sort of colouring. It does all look very nice. This is a version of Chemical Plant Zone. So far this is following Sonic 2 quite closely. Oh, nice big jump there. So those little diamonds that I'm collecting are actually puzzle pieces. There's a little sort of collectible thing going on in this game where you can just collect puzzle pieces to collect some pictures that you can see in the menu. It's a nice little addition. It sort of encourages you to explore the levels a bit more, I suppose. It's very fast, isn't it? I haven't seen any slowdown so far. And there's also the odd bit of platforming every now and then, because of course Sonic the Hedgehog is a platforming game. It's not completely 100% about running fast, which I think people forget sometimes. Yeah, if I remember right, this bit is actually a bottomless pit, so it's obviously platforming over speed in this section, which you do get sometimes. And I think that's just a bottomless pit there. I don't really like it when they put that in games, because you do just find yourself running into trouble and it's not really your fault. Oh, I've finished out of 120 rings. So here's the special stage, which again is based on the Sonic 2 special stage. I think this is brilliant though, because they converted all of this down to a little handheld console, and it all just handles it really, really well. And this is obviously a less powerful machine than the Sega Mega Drive was, but you never got games that looked this close to the original games on the Master System or Game Gear, did you? The animation's not really as smooth as it could be. There was a flower there, I don't know what that was all about. Actually, I used to completely hate these in the original Sonic 2 because I'd always play it with Tails. You can choose to have Sonic alone, Tails alone, or Sonic and Tails. And I like to play it with Sonic and Tails, but Tails would lose your rings for you in the special stages because there was always a slight delay where he follows you, just lagging behind a little bit. And so it made these special stages almost impossible, and it almost makes me think they didn't really test it with Tails. Actually, my mum used to really like these special stages, funnily enough. I remember when we first got our Mega Drive, it came with Sonic 2. I guess I didn't have enough rings. When we first got our Mega Drive, it came with Sonic 2 and Mega Games 2. And she saw me playing the special stage, and she quite liked the look of it, but she didn't really want to play the game completely. She just wanted to see the special stages. So she used to ask me to get to the whirly bits. I wonder if she remembers all that. My mum doesn't really play games. My dad does, but he plays war games like Age of Empires and stuff. Right, so you still have those sort of twisting platforms like in the original Chemical Plant Zone. Sometimes the music is actually quite difficult to recognise, but it's all music from Sonic 3 and Knuckles, and sometimes it's a bit odd, like it might be special stage music, or it might just be like Hydra City Zone music in a different sort of setting. Where am I supposed to go? I guess the only way to go is down here. Ah yeah, the purple water. I don't know if that ever had an official name, but I remember in the British Sonic comics, Sonic the comic, it was called Megamac. Oh. Didn't expect to see those. So they really have tried to convert as much as they possibly can over to this game. But yeah, it's just like a Sonic 2 remix. Oh, but this boss is a bit different. I'm trying to think actually, is there a boss like this in Sonic 3? One of the Death Egg bosses like this in Sonic 3? They did a really good job with this game, you know. See, I don't know how true it is really, but the impression I always got of the Game Boy Color is that it had the Pokemon games. It had a few games that were re-released in colour, like that Zelda game, and it got a new version of Super Mario Brothers. But really, most of the games on the Game Boy Color were just shovelware and licenses. But the NeoGeo Pocket actually has a really good library of games. And most of them are from franchises that I've never really looked into because I don't have a NeoGeo console. I lost my first life there. Got a little bit squished. So of course this is Casino Night Zone. And this looks really nice actually. Better get up there. Bit of expert platforming. And another puzzle piece. Oh yeah, the fruit machines. I want to get in there again. Jackpot, jackpot. They seem to be a bit harder to get into, actually, than in Sonic 2. Ah, another special stage. I think these special stages might be harder than the Sonic 2 versions, actually. I mean, it doesn't feel difficult when you're playing it, but you do end up just with such a strict amount of rings that you need to have that it's quite difficult to just collect enough rings. Even if you don't get hit, actually. Don't think I lost any rings, did I? And I still didn't manage to do it. Don't shrug your shoulders at me. Yeah, this is great. I think this is brilliant. The physics all work quite well. I think it is just very slightly different to the Mega Drive games, but it's close enough that it feels alright. But it does kind of make me wonder, if they could do this on a NeoGeo Pocket, then why couldn't they do a game like this on the Game Gear? I can't imagine the specs for the Game Gear or Master System are all that different from this. Although, you know, I don't know. There's another, I called it a fruit machine last time, but it's a slot machine, isn't it? There's no fruits to be seen. I don't know why they've made it so difficult to get in them though. You do end up bouncing off the edges if you don't land directly in the right space. Here we go. Oh, crap. Okay, let's move on. Ah, the boss. It takes place in an arena, just like the casino night boss, but the way the boss is set up is actually completely different. So I think the next level is Aquatic Ruin Zone. Although they've given all the zones different names in this. This music's from Mushroom Hill Zone. They've converted these graphics over. Well, they've not obviously not converted them, they've just redrawn them, but the way this looks, it looks really nice on the NeoGeo hardware. I mean, I do remember quite clearly thinking that the NeoGeo Pocket was a massive step up from the Game Boy, but looking at it now, it doesn't really look much different. Bit of expert skill there. Oh, that's quite a short level. I like his massive hand on the signpost there. I know I keep saying it, but this is absolutely brilliant. I think this is the only game that Sega made for the NeoGeo Pocket. I mean, at the time they still had the Dreamcast, so they weren't completely a third-party publisher. I think the Game Gear had probably been dead for a couple of years at this point, so they were going third-party regarding handheld games. So maybe they were just testing the waters for being a third-party developer at this point. Because, you know, even way back in the 80s, Sega weren't shy about letting their games appear on other consoles. Quite a lot of their games ended up on home computers, and quite a lot of their games ended up on the PC Engine as well. this bit's so difficult. This is the hardest bit of the game so far. Oh, there is stuff up there. Oh. I'm fighting against Knuckles. So they've got a nice dinky little Knuckles as well. I think the characters look really good in this. So of course this is all just completely drawn from scratch just for the NeoGeo Pocket. I think Sonic looks really good. I don't know why Sonic's fighting Knuckles again though. I thought they resolved this years ago. You know, I don't remember this at all. I really don't remember fighting Knuckles at this point. So even though I think the NeoGeo Pocket is a fantastic little machine with really good games, I don't really like handhelds generally. I sort of buy handhelds. I bought the DS. I bought the PSP. I bought a PS Vita as well. But I didn't really play them all that much. So even though I have this game, I haven't really played it all that much. I might have played through it once after I bought it. So there's bits of it that I really don't remember. I mean, how many times is he going to be tricked into being the bad guy? Rest in peace, Knuckles. So the next stage is Sky Chase. Oh, and it is actually called Sky Chase in this one. But yeah, that's the end of the video, and yes, it's a very long video, but I think it's worth it sometimes to do longer videos just to show off a game properly. So there you go, thank you for watching.